Josh has been ripped for demanding a new trial as officials claimed his guilt is clear and overwhelming. Josh, 33, was found guilty of possessing and receiving on December 9 after a nearly 2-week trial. Josh's legal team filed a motion for an acquittal of the guilty verdict, a new trial, or the dismissal of the possession of charge, as they argued there is no evidence he personally viewed the found on his HP desktop computer. The Sun can exclusively reveal prosecutors have responded to Josh's request. According to court papers, prosecutors claimed the evidence of the defendant's guilt is clear and overwhelming. In Josh's request, his team argued that the government failed to adduce any evidence that Duggar knew that the visual depictions were of a minor and necessary element for conviction of each count. The evidence at trial established that certain files allegedly found on the HP desktop computer were never viewed by any user of the computer, and that all the files at issue had been deleted shortly after being downloaded. The jury had no evidence that attorneys for Josh claimed Caleb had access to the car lot and desktop computer, where the was downloaded, at relevant time periods, and that law enforcement failed to meaningfully investigate the possibility that anyone other than Duggar may have committed the crimes charged. Josh's legal team claimed Caleb regularly used the computer in the month and weeks leading up to the May 2019, when photos and videos of materials were downloaded. The documents claim the government disregarded this evidence. The government responded in their filing that Caleb committing the crimes is pure fiction, as he wasn't in Arkansas at the time the crimes were committed. In regards to exculpatory evidence, the government argued he was not identified as a possible suspect or witness by law enforcement. Prosecutors also claim Caleb was allowed to be called to the stand, but Josh's legal team made the strategic decision not to. Josh's legal team also argued that the government's forensics expert at trial used geolocation to place Duggar at the car lot at certain dates and times that was downloaded. The court papers read the expert had no knowledge about how geolocation, EXIF data, or GPS coordinates work. The government hit back that he is thoroughly qualified. Prosecutors also requested the judge deny their demand to dismiss the possession of charge. The filing read, the defendant, for his part, claimed that someone else did it, but his attempts to scapegoat others collapsed under the mildest scrutiny. His own expert largely agreed with government's explanation of the facts and, when given the chance to rebut evidence placing the defendant at the computer, conceded that she could not. Further, when given the chance to substantiate his speculative defense with other witnesses, the defendant instead rested his case. The court should deny the defendant's motion in its entirety. Josh planned to file an appeal, as his lawyer said in a press conference on December 9 after the guilty verdict. We respect the jury's verdict, and we look forward to continuing this on appeal. We plan to appeal at the appropriate time. The highly publicized jury trial lasted 2 weeks before the jury submitted a guilty verdict on both counts. At trial, prosecutors presented damning evidence from Josh's HP computer. One folder contained 65 thumbnail files of an underage. The jury was shown the images and videos prosecutors claim were found on his computer. Prosecutor William Clayman provided alleged texts and photos were taken on Josh's phone at the car lot to show he was there at the same time content was downloaded at wholesale motorcars. When the verdict was read, Josh was immediately handcuffed and taken into custody at Washington County Jail, where he was placed in solitary confinement away from other prisoners for his safety until his sentencing.